We are
We're
live.
live.
Yay!
Hi.
Hello, everybody. So we are here for the live show of The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine. I'm here with Chloe from the Brunette Bibliophile, as always. So don't forget to subscribe to Chloe and me so you can see the rest of our videos. We read this for the Once Upon a Read Along. Every single month we read a different book, and in March we read Shadow Queen, and we're coming at you a little bit late with our live show just because of scheduling issues and things like that. But we're finally here.
I think that's the most professional introduction we've ever had.
Yeah, duh, because I'm good like that. No, we've been doing this for over a year.
We have.
I think
oh my god.
February was like 1 year. I didn't realize that.
It was January because I remember we planned this in like December.
Yeah, like I
Great.
can't believe we've been doing this for this long. It really doesn't feel like it.
1 year,
It's crazy.
3 months now. Oh my god.
1 year, 3 months. Yeah, we're gonna have to do like a year and a half something or 2 years something. I don't know. But let's go ahead and tweet out the link so everyone knows that we are live.
I am working on that.
I think I follow Redwine on Twitter, so I'm gonna tag her.
Okay. Why won't it let me copy the link?
I know, my internet is being really slow right now. So. Okay, there we go.
Read her on Twitter.
The show.
Wait, are you tweeting on yours or Readorama?
Mine.
Or not Readorama, oh crap, I was about to tweet that on the Readorama one. We were just talking about that, that's why I got confused.
Yeah. Okay, so we are live. Are you gonna tweet at CJ Redwine too?
Yes, once it quits auto.
Okay. Her Twitter, I don't know if you follow her, but her tag is just CJ Redwine. It's funny because I dated a guy in high school and his last name was Redwine. Like, that's the most uncommon name, and that's crazy. So they're probably related. I mean, how many red wines are there in the United States?
Oh my voice feels so weird.
All right, so while Chloe is tweeting out the link, I am going to give my initial thoughts. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. For those of you who do not know, this is a young adult fairy tale retelling. It is a retelling of Snow White, and it is about this girl, Lorelai, and her stepmother ended up, well, that's spoiler, so I won't say that, but her stepmother rules the kingdom, and she is basically exiled. A lot of people think that she's dead, and she is basically trying to win back her throne from her stepmother. And if you guys are a fan of the Lunar Chronicles, I think you would love this. I loved it so much. The writing was just amazing, and I found very, very few flaws in this book, which is really rare for me. And I read tons of fairy tale retelling, so it's hard for me to find one that I love as much as I loved this one. My favorite fairy tale retelling series is the Lunar Chronicles, and I really think this one's coming in a close second, which is a lot for me to say about a fairy tale retelling.
And it was blurbed by Marissa Meyer.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was blurbed by Marissa Meyer until I picked it up from the library, which is why my book is so like shiny. But yeah, that made me like super excited about it.
At least you have a book. I don't have my book.
That's the life when we are broke and we have to get all of our books from the library, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think?
Trying to pull up I didn't remember what I rated it. Okay, so I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars, and I took so long to read this. Not because I hated it, because I liked it, but I have just been in the worst reading slump. But over the like month and a half period that it took me to read it, I really enjoyed it. It really gave me, it reminded me of Snow White and the Huntsman, that movie with Kristen Stewart that wasn't really good. It really reminded me of that. And
I didn't get a chance to see that one.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Like, you know the Huntsman movie that's coming out?
Yeah.
Well, it's related to that.
Is it like the prequel? Because I think it's like when they're training the huntsman or something like that.
Yeah, Huntsman is the prequel. Okay. Anyway, it really my dog wants to come up. It really reminded me of that, and the fact that it's a fairy tale retelling just makes it even better because I love fairy tale retellings.
Yeah. All right. So what should we talk about first? Characters?
Well, me and my 3 notes will, okay. Oh, I already said one of the notes. Okay, well, yeah, you go ahead. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, I guess I feel like when we really love something, it's hard for us to have a good, meaningful live show because if we hate something, then it's easier to talk about. I don't know why that is. But the characters, Lorelai is our main character who is trying to take the kingdom back from Queen Irina, who is our villain in this case, and she is evil. I feel like she is probably one of the most evil villains I've seen since Queen Lavanna in the Lunar Chronicles series. I mean, she just does some seriously wretched things to the kingdom and its inhabitants. And we also have Irina's brother Leo, who I loved. I want to ask you.
Lorelai's brother Leo. You said Irina.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Lorelai's brother Leo. I want to ask you. Do you think Leo is gay?
Okay, I feel like he could be. This is a really good question. I feel like he could be, but I also think he could be quite like the charmer. Not like the douchey kind of charmer, but like the really sweet one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's got game, right? Like he knows how to talk to people to get you interested romantically. But I just feel like, and I hate saying it like this because I feel like it is gay stereotyping, but he would talk about outfits. Like we have to get the right outfit to do this or that. And I just feel like that was a very gay, what's it called? Aspect of your personality to have. And there were quite a few moments where he just oozed the gay, where I was just like, he's got to be, but it never came out and no one ever said it, so.
Quite fetching.
Yeah, he would say that too, right?
Yes, that was the best part.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like I would love it if CJ Redwine were watching right now and she could tell me if Leo was gay, because there were so many moments in the book where I just knew that he was, or like I just had a strong feeling that he was, and it never was said, which it doesn't need to be said. You know what I mean? But
you need to know.
I need to know. I really, really do, because I don't think I've read a YA novel where someone has a lot of gay personality traits. And again, I hate saying that because I don't want to feel like I'm stereotyping, but it never came out and said, this person is gay or not or anything like that. So I don't know. I would really, really like to know.
I'm trying to pull the comments on here. The comments aren't showing up now on YouTube.
Video?
Yeah, on YouTube. Maybe it's just because it's on my phone. I'll look it up on here.
Okay. And then, so our other characters, we have Lorelai, Irina, Leo. We have Gabriel, who rescues Lorelai and Leo from the castle when Lorelai, and I guess now we will be going into spoilers. We've given our initial thoughts, and now we're going to be going into spoilers. So Gabriel rescues Lorelai and Leo, and when Irina kills their father, who is the king, and becomes the queen at that moment. And he kind of just raises them and teaches them how to fight and defend themselves and stuff. And I really, really liked Gabriel, but I was annoyed with him at moments. Did you feel the same way?
Yes and no. I mean, I really liked him overall as a character, though.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I think I found it.
Did you find it?
No, I'm just. Oh, okay.
I'm seeing if it worked. Is it working?
No, I'm just messing with this now, actually on here.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just messing around with it now. It wasn't showing up on my phone, and I didn't want to bring it up on YouTube on the computer because I've got the sound on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
So, who was your favorite character of all of the ones in the book?
I always go for the guy character, so it's gonna be Cole.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I liked Cole too, and I think obviously there is a romance spurring, and I really liked Cole and Lorelai together, but maybe it's because they have that magical bond thing where they can read each other's minds, which I thought was a really, really interesting aspect of the book. I really enjoyed that.
You know, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, skip to the end because this is one of my favorite parts where she's getting coronated and she thinks he's not there, and then she like walks out and he's right there, and it's like, oh my god,
oh my god, so right? When she thinks that he is in his own, an elder, and oh yeah, that was just adorable. I thought it was adorable before that moment when she's about to go in and she's thinking about how scared she is, and I think she was thinking how she wished that he was here, and he gets into her mind and is like, I'm always with you, and I was just like melting. It was adorable. Yeah, I think that they were the cutest couple ever. And it's definitely not insta-love, but I don't think it's a slow-burning romance either. It's like kind of somewhere in the middle, you know what I mean?
See, I didn't like him in the beginning where he was like partying all the time and getting kicked out of whatever school he was in. And then like as soon as he became king, he was like boom, he was like a different person.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of, that's, you know, has to do with his own individual arc in the story. You know, something tragic like that happens and you just kind of have to step up. And I'm glad that he was that type of character. Instead of like freaking out and wanting to run away, he immediately stepped up and wanted to save his kingdom. So, you know, that was a good thing.
And he had the two friends, Jin and Trug. I've already fan casted Jin, but only Jin for some reason. You know Jamie Alexander, the actress?
I don't.
Well, that's who I think should play her if there was ever a movie. And I'm gonna pull up a picture of her right now. It's the most random thing, but like for some reason I pictured her as Jin.
When you said that the videos weren't coming up,
the video was up, the comments weren't.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good because the video's not coming up on my end. But it did come up on my channel, right?
Yes. It's in my subscriptions.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Because I was worried there for a second that the video wasn't coming up, and I have my secondary channel, and I'm like, I hope it's not on my secondary channel, but if it's coming up, then yeah, that's fine. We're good. Thank goodness, because I would have been freaking out. So yes, and then what's the bird's name?
Sasha.
Sasha. I love Sasha. I thought she was like the cutest, and I love how CJ Redwine, she brings in this animal character, and Lorelai can read Sasha's mind because Lorelai healed her, and they have this mental bond now. But I love that she kept Sasha animalistic. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like some authors, or you know, people who produce movies, they would bring in an animal like that and you can read their mind and they think very human, you know what I mean? They have human thoughts and human worries, but Sasha's like, here, do you want a rat that I killed? You know?
Yeah.
I thought that was like the coolest thing, and I'm glad that she stayed true to what a bird would really think about.
Except this rat that I worked so hard to kill.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like, or she would think that Lorelai would think that she was hungry or someone else was hungry, and Sasha's like, ooh, hunt, I'll get you squirrel or something. Like, I thought that was I loved Sasha as a character, and she's such a simple character too, and that's why I am in awe of CJ Redwine's writing style, because she just did a great job with all these different characters being separate and having their own personalities and very distinct personalities, and it was just really, really cool.
So this is the picture I've decided if it'll show. That's who I think Jin should be.
Oh yeah, I could see that for sure.
Because she is.
Sure. I'm really bad at fan casting.
And the thing is, I didn't even do it on purpose. I just started like picturing her. I was like, oh, that could work. And it kind of just happened.
Yeah, I guess in my mind, when I picture characters, I don't really picture their facial features. I kind of just picture their body style and like their hair color and stuff. But I don't know why, I just never really picture their faces. So I can't really put a face to an actor or an actress. So I'm really bad at fan casting.
I'm the opposite. Like if I read a book and then like a movie or a TV show comes out, every time I read the books after, I picture those people. Like I'm gonna use Mortal Instruments as an example. When I read the first, I think four Mortal Instruments books, I pictured them as the characters in the movie. Well, now that they have the TV show, I'm obsessed with the TV show so much that I feel like when I read the books, I'm gonna start picturing them as the TV show people now, which I'm
Yeah,
perfectly
no,
fine with.
yeah, if there's a movie, like you said, if there's a movie or a TV show out, then that's how I picture the character. But if there's nothing out and I just have to come up with it in my own head, I have a really hard time connecting the characters with a face. Like the facial features are the hardest part. I can picture someone's body type or hair color or like, you know, the way that they speak even sometimes, but I have a really hard time picturing someone's face or facial features. I don't know why that is. It's crazy, but it's super, like right now I'm reading Game of Thrones and it's really, really easy for me to picture that person as the Game of Thrones TV show character. It really annoys me is now that I'm reading the second book and I'm only on like the first season. So there's new characters coming in to play in the second book that I haven't seen in the TV show, and I can't picture them because they don't have actors or not actors that I've seen yet, you know, and that's super annoying. But anyway, getting off topic.
Yeah. I've already gone through 2 of my notes.
What was the third one?
Oh, I was so sad when Leo died, and I was not expecting it.
Yes, I know. We read that together. Like I had read it before, but we do buddy reading sometimes. Like we'll read to each other over Hangouts. And when I knew it was coming, and so I was waiting for your reaction. But no, yeah, I didn't expect it either at all, especially because I really feel like his character could have given so much to the book, and I enjoyed his character so much. I think I would have been obsessed with his character if he had lived through the entire novel. And I was really sad because I really, really liked Leo. I really did.
The thing is, I didn't even kind of react when we were reading it. I just, because it was like right at the end of the chapter, and I was like, well,
that happened.
that happened. Wasn't expecting.
I wasn't expecting it at all. And I feel like I have like this kind of gilded look at young adult books too, where I go into every single one of them not expecting anyone to die because it's young adult, and then when someone dies, it's so devastating. Especially when I love the character. It sucks.
Yeah.
It would have been really nice to see him throughout the whole novel, but you know, I kind of see why it happened as well. Like it really has to motivate Lorelai in a way.
I definitely with this book, even though it's like, well, it's not completely unrelated, I kept pairing it to Once Upon a Time, like all little things. Like when Irina took Cole's human heart and put it in a box, I was thinking, oh, you know, Regina has, you know, this whole wall full of boxed hearts. Or Lorelai, I pictured her dressed as like Snow White on once when she's like out in the woods and is like a fugitive.
Okay.
Back in flashback scenes.
See Lorelai wearing stuff like that, but I tended to. I kept comparing it to not plot details necessarily, but storyline as a whole to the Lunar Chronicles, because they're both, you know. Well, Cinder is a Snow White. No, that's a Cinderella. What am I thinking of? Winter. Thank you. Winter is a Snow White retelling, but you know they're fairy tale retellings. You know, and I saw a lot of resemblance between Queen Irina and Queen Lavanna. They're just so evil, which is another thing that I want to talk about, like all the horrible things that Irina did in this book. Like,
see, I didn't make any connections between Lunar Chronicles and this, only because the Lunar Chronicles is so futuristic and sci-fi, and this was like not at all.
It was more personality traits, and mostly it was Irina and Lavanna for the most part. You know, like they're both just so evil and they do such evil acts that I'm just like, how in the world can power be worth that? You know, like when Cole comes to her and says, I will give you money and food to feed your kingdom so that no one starves. And instead she says, no, I will help your kingdom if you find me Lorelai. You know, and it's just like, that doesn't make any sense to me. How could she give up, you know, because oh my God, and that lady, we'll talk about that in a second, but her citizens are dying literally of starvation, and she doesn't care about that. And there was something that Lorelai said, I think she's like, we need to do this now, or else there's not going to be anyone to rule, because everyone is dying of starvation. That's how bad Irina got it. But I want to, do you have anything to say about that before I talk about something else?
Not really. I kind of figured that that she wouldn't care about feeding her people. And then when Cole found out that that it was Lorelai that he was hunting, and they decided to make that like elaborate plan of like getting like a deer heart and covering it in her blood and everything, I was like, I thought for sure it was gonna work too.
Oh no, I don't think it would have. Kind of like the Queen of Hearts and Regina in Once Upon a Time. Like, you just know. You know what I mean? Like, if you are familiar with taking someone's heart out, I feel like I was kind of I was like 50-50. Either it's going to completely fail and fire back at them, which I did not want that to happen, but I had an inkling that it would, and that was super disappointing. But when you said that you thought that she wouldn't care about feeding her people, I agree. But when it gets to a point that your entire population is starving and killing their children, which is
what I was going to say, you're going to talk about that lady, aren't you?
Oh my God, I cried. It was so sad. If any of my viewers know me, I'm trying to have a baby. And so for this woman to kill, like, she had 3 or 4 children or something, for her to kill her babies in order to not die, in order to not have to watch them die of starvation, was just the saddest, most horrible thing that I think is in the whole book. I mean, I was just so sad. I have no words. It was just so sad.
I don't even have a reaction to the lady. I was kind of just like watching. I was like, oh my God, like, what is going on?
Yeah, like, it's brutal, and that is just so, it's like such a harsh reality that I would expect, I'm sure that's happened in all of our human history, that this has happened because people starve all the time. But for it to be in a young adult novel that usually doesn't deal with very, very harsh, brutal, I mean, it might be talked about, but to actually be seen by the main character, oh my God, I have no words. It was really sad. I cried.
Okay. It was definitely a not necessarily a more violent novel, but darker than normal.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Darker than normal, for sure. And I liked that about the book, like, it dealing with hard topics like that, and seeing really at the brink of what these citizens would go through in order to not starve to death was insane. And there were moments in this book. Levana is evil, but there were several moments in this book where I'm thinking that Irina is probably the most evil villain I have ever seen, and how the depths of how brutal she is and how much she doesn't care about anybody but herself.
Going back to how desperate these people are, when Cole and Jin and Trug arrived in Ravensfire and they went through that village and they just started like begging for food or for money or something, and they wouldn't buy anything or whatever, and suddenly these people just start attacking. I was like, oh my God.
Like, yeah, I mean, I definitely like appreciate how CJ Redwine put these little plot points into the novel to make it dark, but to also, show how desperate these people are. And I just think her writing is brilliant. Like, I love CJ Redwine. This is her only book I've ever read, and I'm in love. I love her, and I was obsessed with this whole novel. And like, the more I talk about it, the more I want to give it a 5 stars. And I'm trying to think about something that I didn't like about this book, and it's not coming to me. But I'm in love, and I'm gonna read everything that CJ Redwine puts out from now on. I don't know if this is her first novel. I don't think it is. But
no, she has like, I think 3 other books out. See, and the only thing I didn't like about this, and it has nothing to do with the book, it just has to do with the fact of how long it took me to read it.
Yeah, I mean, it's heavy and it's dense, and and
it's not even that long of a book though, and I still took a long time.
It's it's a pretty normal, fantasy book. It's 400 or 387 pages. So, right around the 400 mark is pretty normal for a fantasy book. And I'm really, really excited for the next one. But you said it was,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to go into. I looked up on Goodreads, and I didn't even think it was going to give a description for the entire series. There's nothing announced yet or said anything about a second book yet, but this is not a direct series. It's a series of companion novels where each book is set in one of the surrounding lands. So
okay.
That being said, this book most of it was in Ravenspire, but we had a little bit in Elder, which makes me wonder if any of the books are going to be in Elder, or if this counts as both Ravenspire and Elder.
I'm hoping that it's going to be an Elder, and it's going to be from Cole's perspective, because then we will still get Lorelai's thoughts, because she's in his head.
We would either have something like a prequel, or a probably not like a direct sequel, though, as far as like his character is concerned. We'd probably most likely get a prequel.
Yeah, and I'm excited because if the map here, I wish I could show you the whole map, but it's a library book, so it's like, stuck here.
Mine wasn't bound in the front. I wish I had mine now.
It wasn't?
The map was still open.
I could see this half here, and then I can see the other half on the back, but it's annoying flipping back and forth. But there's a lot of countries. I mean, we heard about Morcant, which is where Lorelai's mother and Irina are from, and they have Mordushkas, which are basically like magicians. They have magic. And then there's like all these other countries that we've never heard of, and so that's a lot of books. Like, say she does one book from each country, that's a lot. So there's, I think there's a lot that she could do with this series, and I'm really excited to see what she does, and I just cannot wait for the next one, and I hope she comes out with it really quick, but I'm sad that we're probably gonna have to wait a year before the next one comes out.
When did this one come out?
2 months ago.
Yeah, maybe? So we have a while to wait.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we were able to do it for the Once Upon a Read Along and read it together, because we both really liked it, and that's rare that we both really like a book, or at least both of us give it 4 or 5 stars. And but I wish I had read it earlier, because I love it. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then another really evil thing that Irina did was I can't remember if it was a guy or a girl, but she pinned her to
oh yeah, that woman.
Rotten apples.
Yeah, that woman, and then she made her husband eat one, and then he was possessed by her or something.
Yeah, the magic in this book was super dark, and that was just another example of the evil things that Irina could have done, and she's just one of those evil villains that you love to hate, and I really love to hate her.
I wish I wasn't yawning so much.
Well, we're almost at about 30 minutes, and that's about how much we've gotten, we usually do, and I'm not sure what else we could mention about this. Do you have anything to add?
I have no idea.
I feel like I've just expressed all of my feelings.
I feel like our live shows have been getting shorter and shorter. Or is that just me?
I think you're right. I think it's a combination of the last couple of books we really didn't have much to say, but this one I had a lot to say, and I just got it out there really quick because I just have been dying to talk about this book for so long, because I talked about it in my weekly wrap-up a couple weeks ago, but I didn't want to say anything because we have the live show, and I've just been dying to say all of these things. So
yeah, with this one, I don't think I'm going to end up doing a book talk for this one. I haven't done my Stars Above book talk, so I think I'm going to do that next. And then I might do a book talk about our April book, because I don't think I did one before. We should talk about the April book.
We could talk about what we're going to read next month, or this month.
This month now.
Yeah, I haven't even picked it up, but we are going to read The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Bador to get everyone excited for the Alice Through the Looking Glass movie, which is coming out, I don't know when.
In May, I think.
In May, yeah. And I've been wanting to read this for a while. I think you've been recommending it to me, right? Because you've read it already?
I read this 2 years ago, I think. And first of all, I'm obsessed with Alice in Wonderland. Like, it's one of my favorite things ever. And this was like such a good book, and it's a trilogy, but I never picked up the second or third one. So this is my second time reading it. I'm only on chapter 2 right now, but this will be good for me to like actually finish the entire series because like I loved this book.
Now that I'm flipping through it, I'm really excited. It has a map. If a book has a map, I'm gonna read it. I don't care. You know,
Okay, mine does have. See, I got the paperback one, and I was like, I don't know if mine has a map. It does.
Yeah, and it's, what's it called? Outer Wilder Bestia.
I don't know.
Yeah, because mine, it's like inside the crease.
Yeah.
So I can't see the whole word. I think it's Outer Wilder Bestia. I don't know. But this looks really cool. And Wondertropolis. I'm really excited to read this. I need to hurry up and get to it. But I have like this book. We're over halfway through the month, and I have to read this one and like 3 other review books.
My concern is, and this doesn't have to do. Okay, when are we reading The Sleeping Prince? Is that June?
I think so.
I hope so, because I still have to read the first one.
You need to get to it, because I remember when what was it that we read that you needed to read the first one and then the second one really quickly?
Kiss of Deception.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, at least this one's shorter, because the Kiss of Deception is pretty long.
Okay, hold on. Now that I'm looking at my notes, I need to update this. Okay, we said we were going to read Miss Peregrine's in September. We need to change that, though, because now we're reading... Okay, yeah, okay. Sleeping Prince is June. Okay. Miss Peregrine's is now May. I need to take September off. Okay, so that's May. Oh.
Peregrine's got moved from September to May?
No, we messed up. I messed up. Okay. Here is the correct order. It's a good thing I wrote this down. This is the correct order of what's to come for the next few minutes. This means I need to update Goodreads because I put the wrong information down. Okay, so in May, we are reading The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. In June, we're reading The Sleeping Prince. In July, we're reading Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls. And in August, we're reading The Beauty of Darkness. Is that? Okay, that's the third one. And in September, we're reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and that's all we have for now. So we still need to come up with. Well, we know what November is. Yes, we do. It's Heartless.
Okay, so we just need October, and then December.
Yep.
Okay, well, I hate bogging down the thing. I mean, I like knowing. Letting our viewers know what we're reading, at the end of the thing, but figuring out what to read, we'll have to do that at a later time. But all of that information is on Goodreads, and I will link our Goodreads page for the Once Upon a Read Along down below, so you guys can check it out and see. We have almost the whole year, as you heard, planned out, and we will have our October books and our December books up very soon.
We should do this more often, like our planning ahead.
Yeah, last year it was like the week before the month started. Every year we need to do this.
Yeah, last year was a joke. Well, I'm going onto the group page right now and updating that because I wrote down the wrong information. And yeah, this is why your job is Goodreads and mine is Twitter, because I'm bad at Goodreads.
Yeah, well, I'm bad at Goodreads too. That's why you had to do it, because I didn't send out an email and I fail and I just can't remember anything, and I need to start writing stuff down more often, and we'll get better at this. We've been doing it for almost a year and a half now, and eventually we'll get it down,
Eventually. One of these days.
Eventually. Probably in like 5 years or something if we're still doing this. Who knows?
Okay, let me...
All right, so I guess we will end the vlog here, and our final thoughts is I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. As you can tell, CJ Redwine is like, he's like, probably, I mean, since this is the only book I've read from her, I've got to read some other ones, but she's definitely in the running to become top 5 favorite author for me. That's how much I loved this book.
I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really, really liked it, and I hope I like the rest of the series as much as I did this one.
So for 2017, way pre-planning, are we going to read the sequel for the Once Upon a Read Along?
I hope so.
Me...
It's like how we read a Marissa Meyer book every year.
Yeah, well, hopefully she'll come out with something in 2017. Is Heartless going to be a series?
No, it's a standalone. There's something coming out in 2017. I'm pretty sure. Because the thing is, we read Ferris last year, and then Winter last year, and then Stars Above this year.
Yep. And then Heartless. So we need 2 Marissa Meyer books every year to keep up the trend.
Oh my god, we read Winter last year. Oh my god.
Yep.
It's hitting me.
I know, right? But it's like, you have to think, Winter just ended. Like, Winter the season, and Winter came out in winter, so.
Yeah. Really
all right, we will go ahead and end the vlog here, and check out all the links below so that you can stay updated on the Once Upon a Read Along, and subscribe to me and Chloe, and that's it.
So yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Just gonna keep doing this until we go off. Are we off yet? Are we off yet?
Almost. It still says stopping.
Just gonna keep going.
Why hasn't it said stopped yet?
It still says live for me.
I clicked stop. This is like the weirdest thing ever. Chloe, why isn't it stopping? This is bothering me. Has it stopped on the YouTubes?
I don't know. I don't have my phone up.
This is so funny. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me.